Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Good afternoon, assalamu alaikum, and welcome to Sports Extra. I'm your host Ahmed Nawaz with the latest roundup of sports today. I know all of you have missed me, and I've missed all of you daily as well. But obviously, I was on a very important assignment. We'll be bringing you that exclusive content very soon on Sports Extra. It's going to be very special, trust me. So I'm very thankful to, first of all, the team and Ahsan Haqqani for filling in while I was not here, and of course they were tremendous. These guys always are. But now, since we're back, it's time now finally to talk about the Asia Cup. And I think nothing in the world matters more than what's happening tomorrow in Kandy in Sri Lanka. It's going to be Pakistan facing India in the Asia Cup encounter, ODI format, all to play for now because all eyes are here. And this is, probably I think these couple of months would be the most we will see Pakistan and India facing off each other. We've got at least 3 opportunities or 4 opportunities where this can actually happen. So I'm very excited. I know the entire nation is very excited. There's been a lot of buzz on social media. There's been a lot of buzz on traditional forms of media. There's been a lot of buzz from both the teams as well. They've had a lot to say, including commend each other as well. The likes of Virat Kohli really appreciating the strength of the Pakistani team. And then also former captain and test cricketer Wasim Akram going to an extent saying that Pakistan's preparation is spot on. So we'll be discussing everything we can because, like I said, it is that time of the year when Pakistan is facing India. So we'll talk about that in detail. Then, of course, we move on to the encounter that took place yesterday night. It was an intense match. Only 165 on the board for Sri Lanka against Bangladesh, but they were struggling. And if you look at some disciplined bowling by Bangladesh, then they almost had him. But thank God for Dasun Shanaka, who was absolutely brilliant when you talk about not just the intent he brought in with the aggressive some of the aggressive shots that he played and got them out of trouble, but the way he was making sure that even after a 6 he would block a very good delivery. I think that's the way to play modern cricket. So I think he was very smart enough to do that. Otherwise Sri Lanka would have been in trouble because they were 4 wickets down. So they won by 5 wickets in the end, but like I said, it was a very tricky encounter, but Sri Lanka 1-0 up. And this is a group which is somewhat in trouble right now because any of these 3 teams can make it. So, when you talk about the prospects of Afghanistan, they're also a very strong side. So we'll discuss about that in detail as well. And then, of course, in the later half of the show, we will tell you that Pakistan women's series against the South African women team begins tonight with the first T20 International to be played at the National Stadium in Karachi. The trophy was unveiled yesterday in a very glamorous way with the sea in the background. In Karachi, traditionally it had to be. But like I said, we've got lots to talk about. Laura Wolvaardt, the captain as well, she was very confident. Nila Dar is very confident that they can have some practice at home because this becomes a very, very important series. So we'll discuss that in detail. Time now to introduce the guests. First of all, in studios, I've been joined by cricket commentator, broadcaster, presenter, and our sports expert, Asif Ahmed. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam, Ahmed, and welcome back.
Thank you very much, Asif. We've also been joined by sports expert, regular feature on Sports Extra, Ali Mehdi. Assalamu alaikum. How are you, Ali?
Walaikum assalam. I'm very well. Good to have you back.
Well, great to have you on the show as well, and it certainly feels great that I'm here as well. Now we talk about this game between Pakistan and India. Well, this is a rivalry that has been there for ages now, especially when you talk about the Asia Cup. It's been some sort of mixed opinions when you look at the game from this perspective. We've got a report by INSA. Let's take a look and then come back.
After beating Nepal comprehensively in the opening game of 2023 Asia Cup, Pakistan cricket fans eagerly await tomorrow's clash between Pakistan and India. Let's take a trip down memory lane to relive some of the thrilling moments of cricketing history. The cricket rivalry between Pakistan and India has always been a spectacle. From the early days of Asia Cup, these 2 giants have provided unforgettable moments. Who can forget Javed Miandad's lost ball 6 in 1986? Fast forward to 2014. The name Shahid Afridi echoes in our hearts. In the Asia Cup, Afridi smashed 2 massive 6s in the final over against India to secure a thrilling victory.
He goes again, goes big, that's up India! And it's 6, Shahid Afridi, a beauty! What a win! Pakistan have smashed it!
Pakistan and India encounters have always been unpredictable. Be it Sachin Tendulkar's classy centuries or Shoaib Akhtar's blistering pace, these matches are a roller coaster of emotions. India have the upper hand against Pakistan with 7 wins in 13 matches. Meanwhile, Pakistan have won 5 with 1 match ending in no result. As we look ahead to tomorrow's match in the Asia Cup, let's cherish the rich history of cricketing rivalry between Pakistan and India. Brace yourself for another thrilling chapter in this epic saga.
There you have it. All you need to know about Pakistan-India's rivalry in this fantastic trip down memory lane by INSA. And like I said, a lot of perspective in this report. Asif, it's all set now. I think not just people in Pakistan and India, not just in Asia, throughout the world, we can talk about commentators, broadcasters, former cricketers. Everybody's going to be glued to their television sets because this is what they've been waiting for.
Yes, absolutely right. And, you know, as we were watching in that report of INSA, we have watched Javed Miandad 6 and then we have watched Shahid Afridi 6 against Ashwin. These kind of memories, whenever we talk about the Pakistan-India, brings really, you know, cherish on your faces. If you talk about tomorrow's contest, I'm quite sure that the way Pakistan team is playing, if you go for the comparison for both of the team, two skippers, Rohit Sharma versus Babar Azam. Babar Azam is very good with his stellar performances from last couple of months, especially in ODIs, the way he's playing, the way he played a tremendous knock against Nepal. His confidence is high. On the other side, Rohit Sharma, he's been struggling with his form, and not only with his form, but you know that from last couple of months, he's not playing ODI. And the good thing is that the BCCI had given some chances to the new players as skipper. If you talk about Virat Kohli once again, he's under pressure, though he has played a tremendous innings against Pakistan in T20 World Cup. That was a game changer innings from him, and he said that that was the best innings so far for his career. Rest you talk about the fast bowlers. Jasprit Bumrah is back. We have Shaheen Shah Afridi, Haris Rauf, they have Shami and they have Siraj. They have good spinners. The middle order batting, their middle order batting is really strengthened. If Pakistan could struggle, that would be only the middle order batting. And once again, the concern is the opening partnership. Either we are going again with the Fakhar Zaman or Babar Azam will show some confidence for a new guy, Abdullah Shafiq. If you ask me, I will ask him and I will request him and I'll suggest him come up with the Abdullah Shafiq because he's technically so good and he can handle Jasprit Bumrah. Fakhar Zaman is struggling, he's under pressure, he cannot play well, isn't it?
Yeah, Asif, you're right. And I think the funny thing is that whatever case we're trying to make of a player, it turns the tide. Because just recently, Iftikhar Ahmed has just turned the tide now. So, you know, we're all in for something that's been happening. But I think you're absolutely right. Because if you look at, it's not about whether he's scoring or not. The mode of dismissal for Fakhar Zaman is somewhat similar, Asif, if I'm not wrong, in the past 3-4 games.
Well, see, he's making and he's committing same mistakes again and again that, you know, sometimes playing away from the body, his left leg, it's not moving properly. Yesterday, Awais was there, you know, he is level 2 coach. He has described each and everything with his technique. So these are the problem. You know, the Jasprit Bumrah, he's a classic fast bowler and Pakistan have 2 statisticians, India have 4 statisticians. So they'll be definitely working that how we'll go against Fakhar Zaman and Imamul Haq and even Iftikhar as well, I'm telling you.
Absolutely. Ali Mehdi, your thoughts on this mother of all clashes?
Look, the important thing is over here is that Pakistan is actually playing them for the first time. I was thinking about this. Pakistan hasn't played a 50-over game against India for the past 4 years. Last match going back to the 29 World Cup. So everybody is very excited about that. And I feel one of the mother of all formats, especially when it comes to white ball cricket and 50-over cricket. And the important thing over here is Pakistan need to get this one monkey off its back. I mean, that is that we haven't beaten India in 50-over cricket since 2017, since that memorable Champions Trophy. Since then, we played 3 matches, 2 in the Asia Cup and 1 in the World Cup 2019 way back in Manchester. So, you know, that's something I think which Babar Azam wants to rectify. And if I'm not mistaken, this is the first time I genuinely feel that for the first time in a long time that we are slight favorites too. I was reading an article over here, Ahmed, where this Ravi Shastri was speaking some absolute nonsense that, you know, India are still, you know, way ahead than Pakistan, but not at all. Pakistan right now are full of confidence. They're doing extremely well. Their bowling attack is the best in the world too. Yes, we have some bits and problems like Asif mentioned with Fakhar Zaman, and I agree with him that probably if Babar Azam was bold enough, he would go with Abdullah Shafiq and that middle order. But then look, it comes down to one innings. Not many people gave a chance to Iftikhar, and then he played absolute blinder the other day. So I think we probably should stay. I genuinely hope that he would go for Abdullah Shafiq, but knowing Babar Azam and the fact that he is slightly defensive and he wants to play with
Ali Mehdi, I'll be honest, I would not want the side to change in this game. I'm being very honest, but I would really appreciate it that, you know, if we can probably figure out whether Fakhar is going back to the drawing board or not, working with the coaches that are there, especially Mickey Arthur's there as well.
The thing is, Ahmed, over here with Fakhar Zaman, you look at his matches in the series against Afghanistan, he was actually looking very good at the beginning. And then he played some poor shots in that third match at Colombo. He came down the wicket and played a useless shot, he slashed the ball up and actually got caught on cover too. And in the last match, he didn't just flick the ball outside his off stump. It's like he doesn't know where his off stump is. So he has some technical flaws over there, but that's his natural game too. But he needs some confidence. He has to work really outside that off stump, because we know that if there's one player who's a real match winner, it's Fakhar Zaman, and when he gets going, he is very difficult to stop.
Absolutely, he is. Now, of course, we take this game into perspective as well, and at this moment, I want to give you the stats because the match is being played at the Palakela Stadium in Kandy, and if you look at the total matches, 37 one-day international matches in this stadium. 15 have been won by batting first, 21 have been won by batting second. So that's a very clear perspective. It's a huge margin of difference. 248 average first innings score, average second innings score is 201. Highest total recorded 367 for 7, South Africa against Sri Lanka. Back, when you look at this record, lowest is 70 for 10, that was by Zimbabwe against Sri Lanka. And then, of course, high score chase is 314, lowest defended is 206. So these are a couple of stats of the game that we mentioned. But Asif, it's going to be tricky because the toss would probably make a huge impact in this game.
Well, that's right. But, once again, that lots of trouble for Pakistan if we'll go for the chasing. We aren't good in chasing. Even against Afghanistan, and the teams like India, if you see their side, they have plenty of options. And their homework is brilliant. You must give credit to their think tank, their cricket board, their coaching staff. Rahul Dravid is there.
But what about our think tank and our coach now? Because like I said, if I was getting out on a similar kind of approach, I would definitely go back and talk to Bradburn, talk to Mickey Arthur, and even give a call to any of one of my coaches. And to be honest, Abdur Rahman Saab is also there with the team.
Ahmed, in cricket, we call one thing the individual effort.
Approach, yes.
Yes, what you are doing individually, that we have watched Javed Miandad. I have spoken to him so many times, that, and the legend Javed Miandad always talk about, if you're not doing individual efforts and the individual training, you cannot become better. And this is the problem with the Fakhar Zaman, that even Babar Azam is struggling against the wrong one, against the flippers, especially if you talk about the leggies. I have heard that the Babar Azam is working now on that typically, because he has all the class, cut shot, cover drive, on drive, everything is perfect. Even pull shot, sometimes he struggles. So the batters like Fakhar Zaman, if they're not working individually, and team is putting all pressure on him, and team is giving him confidence, but it does not mean that he will become, supernatural on the against India.
Look, even after the first match, I think the catch he took was highlighted so much in the media that automatically he probably, at one point became the hero of the game. So things into perspective should be analyzed very critically. But obviously,
you aren't playing as a fielder there. You're an opening batter. Of course, if you're a good fielder, then it's a very, very plus point.
Somebody's got to tell him this, that he's an opening batter. Somebody's got to tell him. But I'll be honest about this. Only time will heal this wound when we talk about Fakhar Zaman. There are a lot of people who would be very disappointed with his performance, especially Mr. Sabir Kalodo, who's nowhere to be seen right now. He's
He must be watching our show.
He's gone to remote areas of Sindh so far to find a magic potion for Fakhar Zaman. but you never know. But like I said, you want to play your best playing 11. And against India, let me be very honest, Nepal was Nepal, Afghanistan was Afghanistan. Against India, even though there are rumors coming, there was a rumored playing 11 that has been released on social media that said that Rohit Sharma is going to be opening with Shubman Gill. And then, they've got the likes of Virat Kohli in there as well. They've got that blend of experience and youth. There's a lot of youth there. And especially Jasprit Bumrah is coming back. He's going to lead the pace attack with Mohammad Siraj. That is going to be something interesting. Yes, Asif?
See, that so far, Rohit Sharma is not a dangerous thing for Pakistan because he is not in good form. And the way and Shaheen Shah Afridi enjoying the best form is his life, especially first couple of overs, would be really difficult for the Indian batting lineup.
But we've got a habit of people who are not in form, and then we're playing against them, and immediately they come in form. We don't want to do that this time. But it's going to be a tricky subject, Ali Mehdi.
It's going to be a very tricky subject too. I mean, you want all your players to fire, especially against India too. But the fact of the matter is that majority of the players are in form, and I do think they will play tomorrow. But look, you have to assess the Indians too. They've actually played some cricket, but they haven't really played against the big teams right now. They had a series against the West Indies. They were playing their second team too. They had a couple of matches against Ireland too, but they haven't played a very competitive cricket in a very long time, especially in the white ball format. So I think that could work in Pakistan's favor, because Pakistan is, you could say, has been playing a lot of cricket too against Afghanistan right now, and then obviously in the Asia Cup too. So that actually could work in our favor. And another thing which I was especially seeing on Indian media is that they're actually worried because Pakistan has a settled 11. Everybody knows pretty much what Pakistan's 11 is going to be, whereas India does not know exactly what 11 are they going to play.
I mean, for the first time, we've become so confident we're releasing playing 11s one night before.
Yeah, one night before, like the Australians do, or the English do. So I think that shows into perspective that we are trying to go a step ahead, and that we've got so much confidence there in our players too, which I think is a good move too. But with the Indians, I was looking at their team, and I'm not too sure, because they still are, there's some areas where they have problems. Are they going to play with that fourth seamer? Are they going to play with go with Thakur? Are they going to go with Akshar Patel over there? Is Rahul KL Rahul or is injured, or is Ishan Kishan? So you have a lot of areas which still need to be addressed for India. So I don't think we'll be able to find out the exact 11 till tomorrow.
Till tomorrow at the toss, I think that's going to make a huge impact. But on that note, we'll just go towards a short break. When we come back, we'll discuss things more in detail. Stay tuned.
The ultimate cricketing showdown in Asia is back. The most anticipated clash of the event is here. The big guns from Asia are here to compete for the glory. This is the Asia Cup, the tournament that will have you on the edge of your seats. Don't miss it.
The slogan "हम पाकिस्तानी हैं, Pakistan हमारा है" was coined by Kashmir's visionary leader Syed Ali Gilani. He remained staunch advocate of Kashmir's merger with Pakistan all his life. He remained steadfast in his devotion to free Kashmir from Indian yoke and make it part of Pakistan till his last breath. Syed Ali Gilani considered Kashmir as part of Pakistan on the basis of logic and reasoning. Today, every single Kashmiri has become Syed Ali Gilani. हम पाकिस्तानी हैं, Pakistan हमारा है is reverberating in every nook and corner of occupied Jammu and Kashmir.
Welcome back. It's all about Pakistan, India, and like I said at the start of the show as well, a lot is being said on traditional forms of media, social media. A lot of players, commentators, broadcasters, everybody's jumping on to this bandwagon of Pakistan facing India at the Asia Cup tomorrow at Palakele International Stadium in Kandy. Asif, what does the media on the opposite side say so far?
Well, see, if you see the Indian media, you can find everyone is fighting against Indian team. And this is the Indian media actually who's responsible for the Indian defeats. They always create havoc, especially you know that if you see their social medias and the guys who are doing shows over the YouTube, they are just telling each and everything. They are frightened from the Pakistan cricket team, the way Pakistan team is playing. But don't forget, you guys got some classic player like Virat Kohli, Rohit Sharma. Yes, we understand that there is no KL Rahul, but even Shubman Gill, Sky, Surya Kumar Yadav, Hardik Pandya, you have a fantastic team. So give them some space, don't put them pressure, and that is the only Indian media who always destroy their team. I think that the Pakistan media is showing a very, very responsible attitude. Yes, it's a game. Let it be a game. It's a sports. Don't convert it into the war. We are here for the sportsman spirit, not for the war. So I think that both of the team, they are really, really good sides. But I have said yesterday that the confidence of Babar Azam is always sky high, I mean. And that's why I'm quite sure that the Pakistan will be favorite if there is
I
no
would
rain.
rather have Sky high confidence of Babar Azam than Sky on the other side performing. I really, you know, that's a dreadful thing to think of.
360, Sky, Surya Kumar Yadav.
Ali Mehdi, your perspective of the impact of media on any team, particularly, you know, the form of it is in Pakistan and India.
I first want to talk about the Pakistani media this time for once, and I think the Pakistani media really deserves a huge credit over here, huge round of applause, because I think this time they're taking a measured and a mature approach over here. You don't see anybody going cock-a-hoop over here. You don't see anybody going over the top. They are just confident, and at the same time they are not really hyping it too much. They know that Pakistan after a long time are the favorites for this match, but they are not going too much about it. Whereas if you look on the other side of the border, like Asif just mentioned over here, they just take their team apart. You know, they're saying that Pakistan has a settled team. We don't know which players to play. You know, Pakistan could really roll us over. That's why I think that this time it's very important that this approach continues from Pakistan in the media. You know, just gives confidence and, you know, doesn't write too much about it, because I think till now they've done extremely well too. And the important thing over here is that the Indians don't even know their full team. Yes, there were some reports that, you know, of the 11 which have come out in the media too, but I really don't think we'll be able to find it till tomorrow, because at this time, you know, the Indian media is going about, you know, they've come out with about 3 or 4 versions of which team could play. But I just think that the only people who really know who's going to play is the Indian team management and those 4 statisticians of India.
But you know, it's very, very changed times now for BCCI and for the Indian cricket team. Over the last couple of days, Asif, I was going through some, you know, stuff where I saw this interview by Sourav Ganguly, where he was mentioning about Virender Sehwag, that it was tremendous pressure from the board and from many people who wanted me to drop him. But I stood by and I said, no, I'm going to keep him in the team. He's going to be playing. And against South Africa on a debut, he got 100. And then he said he talked to him. He sat down. He said that, look, Viru, the fact is that nobody's going to become a player sitting outside. So what would you rather have, sitting outside or playing in the team? He said playing in the team, and he said I want you to open then, because that's the only position I've got. So, you know, captain was talking to players, backing them, something that Mahendra Singh Dhoni replicated. Virat Kohli to an extent did not have that much of time, because the filling in the shoes of Mahendra Singh Dhoni as a skipper were too big probably to fill in. But then this transition now, where this is a personal statement, and I take all responsibility for this, and I might be wrong, it's perfectly fine, that I don't see the Indian team looking up to Rohit Sharma as a skipper should be looked up.
If you see that the Rohit Sharma already is crossing now 35, you know, and that was the only Mahendra Singh Dhoni and Misbah-ul Haq. There were 2 exceptional examples for us that they played after 40 or till 40, you know. Even, you know, Misbah was playing after 40 test cricket as well. So they were super classy guys. If you talk about Rohit Sharma, he has problem with his fitness as well. He's gaining weight, and then captaincy is a big problem with him, because you know that twice they lost in the final of the World Test Championship, and then after 2015, 2011, they didn't qualify for the semi-final. What does it mean that the lots of pressure on on the BCCI as well, and something is going fishy. This is what I had said yesterday as well, because you know that the captain Rohit Sharma has his own group. some players are supporting Virat Kohli. Some are going with
Are you
the
saying there's
Rahul.
a lobby system in India right now?
Yeah, yeah.
the dressing room?
Yeah, of course. Reflects with your performances and reflects with your attitude which you are showing in the field. You know, and even if they're saying that no, we are, united and we're on the same page, but something is going on, and this is what one of their, renowned journalists Vijay Lokpali said. That I can tell you that something is going in the dressing room, and that's why the players, especially Virat Kohli, he's under pressure and he's not performing well for a long time, because you know that everyone is asking that the Virat Kohli is a very, very big talent, but he is not performing up to the mark. Why?
But you don't drop a player of that stature immediately, obviously.
No, but you don't say even that we are putting out you from the captaincy, because if you do remember what happened with the Pakistan in 2015,
Yes.
Pakistan lost in the quarterfinal of the ODI World Cup, and then the next series, even nobody can think that what happened, that the Azhar Ali was the captain for the ODI side. So these are some funny events, not here in Pakistan Cricket Board, but the Indian Cricket Board also enjoy this.
Well, I understand that the dynamics of these teams tend to be a more of a cultural sort of things
Yeah.
that keep on happening. But Ali, Mehdi, that experience might be missing and might be struggling. But still, in the likes of this youth, which has fair bit of games to their names, including Ishan Kishan, Shreyas Iyer at number 4 can be a very solid candidate. Then Shubman Gill. There are people who are ready now to go through that transition period for Team India.
They've got some real firepower in that middle, and you talk about Shreyas Iyer. I think he's a fantastic player, real talent over there. But Ishan Kishan is one. I think he's really, we haven't spoken too much. He's got that Rishabh Pant sort of a quality. They don't.
Or maybe future captain. You
Future
never know.
captain for them. He plays from Mumbai, in India too. He's been there and thereabouts, for a long time. Really good keeper, really safe hands behind the stumps too. And then at the same time too, I think probably the best all-rounder, in all 3 formats for the past 5-6 years, Ravindra Jadeja. I mean, one of the best all-rounders you'll ever find. He's there with that experience, match winner for them. He's done countless times over there too. And then at the same time, their bowling lineup too. So they've really, really got it. And that I genuinely feel that one area where they are ahead of Pakistan is that middle order. And you don't want that to be the difference, but they've got that firepower in that middle.
Right.
And whilst they haven't got that experience, that youth of exuberance could really help them.
Well, I've got a statement I'd like to read out from Rohit Sharma, where he says Pakistan is a very good team. They've been performing very well in the last few years, whether in T20 World Cup or 50-over cricket. No team becomes number 1 just like that. It takes a lot of effort. I'm sure the Pakistan team has worked hard to become number 1. They play like a unit and are playing good cricket, so it'll be a challenge for us. This is a team or Indian cricket team who's now actually admiring the Pakistan team. But a very important point to pick out is that they're playing as a unit, Asif. Something that over history Pakistan cricket has missed. That's why we say that for the very first time we see a very potent dressing room environment.
And credit goes to Babar Azam, of course, that the way he's leading and the environment of the dressing room. We have watched that Pakistan lost against Australia in the semi-final of T20 World Cup. That speech of the Babar Azam was remarkable. What he said that everyone is responsible for this defeat. I'm taking the responsibility being skipper. That is called, the leading, the leadership. And after, some time, you will see that the Babar Azam getting mature day by day. I'm the guy who has spoken about his captaincy a lot of the times that he's doing some mistakes in the captaincy. But, even I'm supporter of him. Why? Because now we are heading towards the World
Yeah,
Cup.
so better to, commit mistakes right now
Yeah,
than the
yeah.
World Cup.
So you can learn.
Yes.
So you can learn and you cannot repeat those mistakes in the World Cup. That's right. And one last thing. You guys are talking about the Ishan Kishan. And one thing missing in our part, why Ishan Kishan is performing so well, because he has played 50 first-class games.
Yes, Ranji Trophy.
And yes, Ranji Trophy. And his average is 39. And in ODI, he's averaging 46. What does it mean? That they're giving respect to their domestic structure.
It's not the other way around like in Pakistan. You take people from T20 cricket and bring them to the longer format. Around the world, it's the longer format and then T20 cricket because you can adjust like that.
Big example, I have shared so many times. Once again, I'm saying Suresh Raina got the test debut after playing 100 ODIs.
Yeah.
This is called your planning. which is missing here in Pakistan.
Well, definitely. Ali Mehdi, you agree? Because look, the fact is that these are youngsters in the Indian team for transition. But if you look at their domestic record, they've got a fair number of games. I think, let alone playing just 2 seasons of the IPL, gives you about what, 20 T20 international T20 matches.
Yeah, that's the thing with the Indian, with your Indian structure, with that Ranji, the domestic chakra is so strong over there. All these players, they've actually played a number of matches in the Ranji Trophy, and they give it so much respect. You know, even if they don't perform, all those players, they actually go back, they perform in the Ranji Trophy, get a very high average, and then find themselves, they come back into the international team through merit and actually performing on the domestic circuit too. Over here, it's like you just mentioned, it's actually straight from T20, they jump over to the bandwagon into the ODI team. So, it's important that, our domestic structure with the Quaid-e-Azam Trophy, the T20 and the 50 over the domestic cup is given more respect, and, people emerge from there rather than from the T20.
But Ali Mehdi, if I ask you this very direct question,
Sure.
and I think that the World Cup would probably seal the fate of Rohit Sharma, not just as a skipper, but as a player as well.
That's a very good question. I've been thinking about that, and I really want to, laud you for that question. I genuinely think that Rohit Sharma is coming towards, and I think I'm I'm jumping the gun over here, but I genuinely feel that he's coming towards the twilight of his career. Rohit Sharma, if you look at him, he hasn't had a lot of match-winning innings in important or knockout games. You go over the past decade, you give me one innings where he's actually in a knockout game, he's performed extremely well. When it comes to the big games, the knockout games, he's not performed, not in the finals, in the semi-finals too. He does it very well. 2019, he was the top scorer. He was the best batsman in the 2019 World Cup. But as soon as they come into the semi-finals, he's flopped. He did it in the Champions Trophy too. So, the thing is over here, there'll be a lot of pressure on him, especially in these you could say that these big games.
But cricket fans are crazy in Pakistan. They've come to a point now that for the very first time, they're so confident, they're saying, Rohit Sharma is not even competition. Think about the players after him, because Shaheen Shah is going to get him out. And I'm telling them, you don't know what
Rohit
he
Sharma
can produce on a good day. He can single-handedly take the game away from you.
And they don't call him hitman for no reason, so that's why.
Right. We've got a lot of hitmans in Pakistan team as well.
But please do not take the name of Asif Ali. This is my humble request. Please don't take his
King
name.
Asif Ali, I would say. King Asif Ali. But yes,
are you
like
talking
Asif.
about King Asif? I mean K Asif?
K Asif.
Oh,
K
all
for
right,
King.
that's
Asif.
King Asif.
But Asif, look, if you look at that structure, and you were just pointing out during that debate with Ali Mehdi as well right now, that Imran Malik is a prime example of the structure that they're occupying in India.
See the way he's performing, generating pace. Everyone is talking about his lovely bowling and his body, his physique, each and everything. But that's okay, fine, fair enough. Play IPL. There is no need in their national team. If you perform in domestic structure, in Ranji Trophy, then we will give you a chance. This is so important, Ahmed, and we have learned. We are not learning this. Even I have given this example before as well, that the Mike Hussey scored 10,000 first-class runs, and then he
made
got
his
a
debut,
chance.
yes.
Talk about Matthew Hayden. He was in age of 28 when he got the ODI debut. So the people, why the rest of the world, they're ruling on the world of cricket, because they're just following the textbook. This is really, really important. Otherwise, the Pakistan, that why Azam Khan brought him to the side. Give me an answer. That what was the reason? The only reason that his father Moin Khan remained the Pakistan captain. Sorry to say, but this is the only criteria.
It's a tough one to call now, but the fact is that Pakistan-India takes place tomorrow, 2:30 p.m. All action on PTV Sports. It's going to be extravagant. Do tune in, because this is something that you don't want to miss. It's not every day you got a Pakistan-India game, so that becomes more special, and the hype is more there as well. We'll be discussing this obviously in the later half of the week as well, next week when we come back. But now we've got something very important to talk about, which is Sri Lanka against Bangladesh, a match that was only 165 on the board, but was won with a bit of intent, because it became very difficult. We've got a report on that. Let's take a look and come back.
Shakib Al Hasan, the captain of Bangladesh, decided to bat first after winning the toss. Given that it never balanced after the top order was quickly removed, the Sri Lankan bowling assault proved to be a struggle for the Bangladesh batting lineup. In the second match of Super 11 Asia Cup 2023, Bangladesh made an effort to assemble, but Sri Lanka maintained in control and won by 5 wickets with 11 overs to spare. The match was won by Sri Lanka to a 78-run partnership between Sadira and Charat, which added to the bowlers' effort in the first innings when they knocked out Bangladesh for 164 runs. Najmul Hasan Chantu rose to the occasion and scored a valiant 89 runs, but his effort ultimately proved insufficient as the rest of his team folded for a poor total that the Sri Lankan squad easily defeated. The first innings performance by Sri Lanka was extraordinary given that they were playing without star spinner Fernando Hasranga. Shakib Al Hasan, Mushfiqur Rahman, Mustafizur Rahman and Taskin Ahmed were among the significant wickets that Matisha Patirana took, giving him career best numbers of 4 by 32. Mahesh Theekshana, who took 2 wickets while only allowing 19 runs to be scored in his 8 over, provided support for him. Bangladesh appeared to be in the game despite Sri Lankan's second innings struggling after Patham, Kushal and Dimut all lost their wickets early in the innings. But the time it was through, Sadira and Charat's half-century had helped Sri Lanka steady the ship and brought them within striking distance of the goal. Matisha Patirana was named player of the game for his expertise with the ball.
There you have it, all you need to know in this report by Fizzer that details the Sri Lanka and Bangladesh game. Ali Mehdi, what did you make of this game?
Look, if you come down, it comes down to this game. I thought it was a very paltry total set by Bangladesh. And look, Bangladesh has so much talent over there. Bangladesh has been there and thereabouts. But, you know, you have to actually come down to what's the problem with Bangladesh. And like we were mentioning off air, it comes down to the captaincy and this merry-go-round of captaincy over there. Because they've got the talent, they've got some exceptional players. I would say some world-class players. But the problem of it, they don't gel as a team. You don't see that fire play. You don't see that sort of chemistry and, you know, that desire to win and to that desire to actually get big totals and to get.
I mean,
and, that's the reason they're not performing well.
If I were them, I'd be worried about that game against Afghanistan.
I'd be very worried, and we could see a repeat of last year. Ahmed, last year, everybody was saying Bangladesh is going to easily go through. Afghanistan completely ripped them apart, and that could happen, you know, on Sunday too, and then, you know, history could repeat itself. So Bangladesh really need to find their feet quickly, and you know, Shakib has to take responsibility because we don't see that leadership. We don't see that sort of leadership with the likes of Rohit Sharma or even Shanaka from Sri Lanka has, and even if you talk about from Pakistan, Babar Azam has, because right now they look a complete mess. And whilst they are a team of individuals.
But Ali Mehdi, they never went through a transition. There was no transition in the Bangladesh cricket team.
There's never been a transition. This is the problem.
Yes.
It's like a merry-go-round. You know, players come in, players go out, and, you know, you have these players, this
Absolutely.
and that. And there's so much politics in that, and it's so evident over there. That's why it's so disappointing, because this team, when we go back to 2017, was the last time they made the Champions Trophy semi-final. Where have they been ever since? They haven't barely gotten out of any group stage, should it be the Asia Cup or the World Cups or the World T20s. They've done, and they've been really, really poor in all these formats. So it's important that they step up against Afghanistan.
Yes, Asif, what would you like to say?
See, the same story like Pakistan, Bangladesh, the two big players like Mushfiqur Rahim, Shakib Al Hasan playing, and they are not the captain. And Muhammadullah sitting on the bench. Tamim Iqbal already taken the retirement. Then he said
came back.
You know. So what's going on actually? And players like Shantu, if they're performing so well, that I like his confidence and I like his technically so good. But you know that the match winners are Mushfiqur Rahim and Shakib Al Hasan. If they're taking the responsibility and if they're playing well, then the Bangladesh could do something special.
But if Bangladesh goes against Afghanistan, because you've seen the Afghan team very close, what do you make of that game?
Well, I think, to be very honest, that Afghanistan is favorite for me. And especially their players, the way they played against Pakistan, Rahmanullah Gurbaz, then Ibrahim Zadran, their spinners, each and every player, they're performing so well. So for me, Afghanistan will be favourite against Bangladesh.
Well, you're lucky today, Asif, because I've just received word that Mr. Shirazi would like to go, you know, against you on this decision and challenge you in this tradition of Sports Extra that we have.
Prediction
that
time.
He's going to stand with Bangladesh for this one. So he's saying it's
Mr.
on.
Mr. Shirazi is an innocent guy, so I'm not going against him. Okay, Shirazi Sahab, I'm with you.
So you're with Bangladesh now.
Yeah, okay, Shirazi Sahab, yeah.
Ali Mehdi, let's be honest, Afghanistan does have enough in their tank to defeat Bangladesh, but the problem is the only thing that can defeat Afghanistan is Afghanistan.
That is true. I mean, that's the thing with Afghanistan. They're the sort of team which actually, they've got victory in their in their hands, but they always, they actually manage to really mess it up at the end too. So they've done it over and over again, especially against Pakistan too. But
Bangladesh or Afghanistan?
I'm going to go for Afghanistan.
Afghanistan. Oh, it's an intense competition.
Also, you are going against Shirazi sir?
I think
Are you
it's
sure?
No bets. I don't know bets against Shirazi sir. No, please.
Well, gentlemen, thank you very much for being on the show. That wraps it up. The thing is that it's going to be a brilliant game when you talk about that. But before I leave, I just want to request all of you that the Pakistan women's team is playing South African women team tonight in the first T20 of the 3-match series. It's very plain simple. Spread the word. The hashtag is back our girls. It's our responsibility now to promote women's cricket, so do that as much as you can. All of you, go tune into the game. If you're in Karachi, you've got an opportunity, go to the stadium. Try to develop a safe environment for our women cricketers to enjoy cricket, in an equal setting as the male cricketers as well. So on that note, I leave you from me and the entire team. It's goodbye.